The track and field season is officially over, and Noah Lyles is a world champion again. Granted, not in the 100-meter dash. That would be Oblique Seville, who brought the gold back to Jamaica for the first time since Usain Bolt did it. But if you're talking about the 200, Noah didn't just get the victory in 19.52 seconds. Most people don't really know what to do with that time anyway. It's his 4th straight world championship. That ties Usain Bolt himself to actually have 4 of those in that event. And to be 100% real with you, the only reason I'm bringing all of this up is because Noah Lyles himself went and did an interview with The Guardian, and they asked him about the future of sprinting, at which point he responded back to say that the future of the sport, again, when it comes to sprinting, does look pretty hazy. Now, you mentioned that there are athletes who are on the come up. Of course, you have a group of guys who he's been competing with for a while, but what matters most is that when it comes to the future of the sport, as far as I can tell, Noah Lyles is going to be a part of that future at least through 2028. So the real question is, what does that actually mean for everybody else in the world? Because we've been living in the Noah Lyles era. I didn't even understand it till I went back and looked at the data. You have to understand that from 2017 up until now, that's the year that Bolt retired, nobody, not one man on the face of the earth, has won 2 gold medals in a world championship, Olympics, or anything. Like, we're just adding up the 100 and the 200. Nobody has 2 golds except for Noah. And if you're counting up what Noah actually has, he has 2 gold medals in the 100, 1 from the Olympics and 1 from the Worlds. And then I've already addressed that he has 4 gold medals in the 200. Yes, he has bronze medals along the way in the 100, the 200, like, yeah, that stuff happened. But I'm only focusing on the people who get the golds. And 6 out of the 14 chances where someone could have won a gold medal, it went to Noah Lyles. And like I said, nobody else repeated as champion in either event. Let that sink in for a moment. And after I finished looking all of this up, I stumbled across the Nightcap podcast where they brought Kenny Bednarek on there to discuss his performance at the Worlds. Kenny won another silver medal in the 200. That's why some people call him the Silver Surfer. And the thing that stood out to me most wasn't even just the conversation. It was the thumbnail that they chose to use to market the discussion. They referred to it as, Kenny Bednarek chasing Noah Lyles. Now, I'm not sure how Kenny actually feels about that, but that's how they chose to package it. Meaning, they're introducing Kenny to the rest of the world as a track athlete, but doing it in relationship to Noah, specifically telling everybody that he's been behind him this entire time. And although that is just one example, it's not the only one I could give you. Simply put, when Noah Lyles enters the race, everything just changed. And we know this, not just at the championship level, but everywhere else. He brings a different mystique. And I'm now going to go out on a limb and say this part. We are living in the Noah Lyles era. You don't have to like it, but the facts are the facts. When about a decade has now gone, we're getting close to a decade. We're not there yet, but we're almost there. And nobody has ever won 2 golds in the 100 or the 200. I didn't say 2 golds in the same meet. I didn't say 2 golds, in the 100 and then winning another 100. That's not what we're saying. I mean, of all the chances you could have won a gold medal in the World or the Olympics, in the 100 to the 200 meter dash on the men's side, nobody has done it twice except Noah Lyles. And he has multiple golds I've already established across both events. The future of sprinting actually does start to look like, can anybody take out Noah Lyles? And the real issue, like the elephant in the room when it comes to the Noah Lyles era, does appear to be that after Usain Bolt, Noah showed up. And when he did, we just saw the gold standard. We saw the records, specifically the world records of what Usain Bolt gave us. And everybody was looking to see if anyone could catch up to him. Like, could anybody get close to those records or, for that matter, pass them? Newsflash, there's only one Usain Bolt, and I don't see anybody out there coming to get him anytime soon. Bolt even said it himself before the World Championships. So Noah Lyles is what we got. Like, this is what it is. This is his era. He's the best of this particular group. All of the data, all of the stats, and all of the medals, specifically the gold ones, adds up to the fact that Noah is the guy in this era. It doesn't mean there aren't other guys. It doesn't mean other people don't win something. But nobody wins as much as he does. But because he doesn't match up or measure all the way up to the gold standard that Bolt gave us, again, specifically when it comes to the clock, but yes, when it comes to the medals as well, people really don't know how to feel about it. And I think that explains the divide in the track and field community. So let's have a real conversation about this hazy future of sprinting, because 2025 is done. Like, that season is over. And although we have Oblique Seville in the 100-meter dash right now, history appears to be telling us it's going to be incredibly hard for him to win it again. Because nobody has done that. Win 2 golds who wasn't Noah Lyles from 2017 up until now. Considering Noah Lyles is going to be around through 2028 at least. And as far as I'm concerned, the 2025 season was far from ideal for Noah. He started the season incredibly late, ran about 1/3 of the season towards the back end, and still came away with 2 medals at the Worlds, one of which was gold, and then of course you can throw in the relay medal, which in America is the bonus medal. I don't mean any disrespect by that, I'm just being honest, it's nowhere near on the same level as winning one individually when you're American. So when it comes to the landscape, Kenny Bednarek, Oblique Seville, and everybody else, you gotta throw Kishane Thompson in there. Who are the real threats? Like, if someone's gonna win a gold in 2027, 2028, in the Worlds, the Olympics, 100, 200, who's gonna do it if their name isn't Noah Lyles? And although it seems like there's a whole bunch of names that could do it, realistically speaking, we can figure out who the contenders and the pretenders are pretty fast. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. When it comes to the American men looking forward and their chances at winning a gold if your name is not Noah Lyles, the list basically breaks into 2 halves. You have the guys who've been here for a while, like the ones who've already won medals on the world stage, who already made Olympic or World Championship finals. There's that group, and then the young and up-and-coming group. There's a gap zone in the middle. There is, and I'll address them briefly. But to be honest, I think they're just exactly that, in the gap. If someone's going to win a gold going forward, I think it's going to come from one of the first 2 groups, probably not from the gap. Again, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. The old group, the guys who've been running with Noah for a while, specifically behind him, have been Kenny Bednarek, Christian Coleman, Trayvon Bromell, Ronnie Baker. I mean, yes, there's other names we could throw in there, but I don't think we're going to see Fred Curley anytime soon, if ever. You get the point, like, this is what it is. So, one of those guys could win a gold. That could happen. But we've also seen this movie before, when they're chasing after Noah Lyles, and none of them beat him in the 100 or the 200 this year, when he did seem to be more vulnerable than he was in the past. Then you move on to the other group, the young guys. That is another grab bag. You've got T. Mars McCallum, who just made the team this year, but didn't get out of the preliminary heats. You got Jordan Anthony, who just turned pro, dominated the NCAA. You've got the high school kids who are now, moving up. You've got, Tate Taylor, who's technically still in high school, but with that USA's early at 17 years old. Maurice Gleaton Jr., who, made the USA final, supposed to be a freshman in college. Like, it's likely going to be one of those names if somebody's going to emerge, but we just don't have anywhere near enough data to determine if any of them have what it takes to win gold on the world stage. I mean, talent is one thing, but actually doing it, that is something entirely different. Where they're at, like the level they're on, because the most accomplished guy when it comes to the world stage of anybody I just mentioned has only made it to the preliminary heats at the World Championships. That is it. So, hey, we're going to have to wait and see. And I don't think 2027 and 2028 is exactly going to be their time, but maybe it could be. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong on that. The gap zone in America is probably the names like Robert Gregory, Courtney Lindsay, Kyrie King, people like that. That's the gap zone. But no, I don't expect to see gold medals on the world stage coming from those guys. They might make a USA team, I could see that, and they might even make a world final. But remember, winning gold is something different. When you move away from America, now you see, I think you got to put Jamaica at the top of the list. You got Oblique Seville and Kishane Thompson in the 100 and Brian Lavelle in the 200. All of them are threats to win gold going forward. I actually think they're all credible threats. Like, I think that's really what it is. The question is, not can they do it, but will they do it? And will they do it specifically with Noah Lyles standing in their way in 2027 and 2028? The 100, Noah does look more vulnerable. He's always looked more vulnerable for the record, but he did pull out golds twice now. Like, that's what actually happened. In the 200, Brian Lavelle is a credible threat. He's just going to have to take a step forward. And that step forward is going to have to hold into 2027 and 2028. We see what the standard is. It's not just that Noah Lyles goes fast, it's that he's been consistently faster than everybody else when it matters for the most part. Again, the Olympic Games and the 200 have been a blip on the radar. But other than that, he's been winning everything. And because Oblique Seville just won the 100 this year, there's no reason to believe that in theory he couldn't do it again. It's just that historically speaking, only Noah has been able to repeat and win gold in this era from 2017 till now. Oblique Seville does have the talent to do it. That I believe. But having the talent and actually going out there and doing it aren't exactly the same thing. We're going to have to wait and see. When it comes to the rest of the world, and we're talking about gold medals here, with all the names I've already given you, there's certainly names like, Letsile Taboho who are going to be there, who we could bring up. We've already seen him win Olympic gold in the past. Theoretically speaking, he could win a world championship or Olympic gold again. Again, in the 100, the 200, that's realistic. But you're still going to have to go through everybody we just mentioned, Noah included. And then you have what I think is the more exciting conversation. If we forget about a lot of the other international names for a moment and actually focus on the up-and-coming group between Gout and Beyond Walaza. I think they are the most likely candidates to mature into, someone who could not just make a world championship final or Olympic final, but one day win gold. But when I say one day, I don't know if one day means 2027 and 2028. Judging off of what we've witnessed this year, it does feel like they're still a ways away from getting that far. If they make Olympic finals, if you just fast forward to 2028, that would be a major accomplishment from what I've just seen. Even if they get close to the podium, or even get on the podium, that would be huge for either of those athletes. But we're talking about gold medals. That's the discussion that we're having. That's what made this the Noah Lyles era. And I'm not convinced that they are going to be the guys who are going to win gold medals within the next 3 years. Again, 2026 is a blip on the radar because as far as I know, there is no traditional world championship. There's a world ultimate championship thing, but that's different. It doesn't have the same mystique because it has no history behind it. The real question that I have after all of this isn't just whether or not somebody else could win gold. Let's just assume for a moment that Noah Lyles does not win gold ever again in the 100 or the 200. Not at the Worlds, not at the Olympics, so 2027, 2028, let's say that's a wash. Even if he just went away tomorrow and retired, what would be the future of sprinting? That is the question, because the sprinting community has always been looking for the next meal ticket, the next guy who we can hang our hat on, the next superstar who everybody can pay attention to. Usain Bolt carried that mantle for a while. And before he did, we were kind of in a zone where we didn't have that guy. Justin Gatlin was emerging as that guy before, things happened. He stepped away from the track, and then Usain Bolt steps in. And the fact that he comes back and climbed back to the top of the world showcases that he was probably the next up. Other than that, we went from, whether it was Carl Lewis, Maurice Green, there was always a guy who dominated for a stretch of time, where everybody else was, for the most part, running for second place. It doesn't mean that you can't beat them once, but the idea that you're going to continue to beat them, that is not what happened. That's also what I'm seeing going forward in the next few years. If the sport doesn't have a Noah Lyles, because if it doesn't have him, you don't have a Usain Bolt, or for that matter, any of the other names I just mentioned, where does that actually put sprinting? I mean, yes, it opens things up in order for anybody to have a chance to win a gold medal. But in 2017, in the 200-meter dash, the world champion that year was Ramil Gulyev. That is a name that almost nobody remembers. But he was the world champion in the 200-meter dash. Because at that moment, coming off of Bolt wasn't running the 200 that year, and Noah Lyles was still essentially a high school kid who was working his way up to the pro circuit. He was in the process of transitioning. Somebody had to win gold that year. I mean, he did, but it's a name that almost nobody remembers. There wasn't any record-setting times. If you go back and look at the results, hardly anybody that year was breaking 20 at the World Championships in that event. But it is what it is. He was the world champion. And if we go back to a world like that, where for the most part, the times get slower, and when I say slower, I don't even mean 20 flat. I mean, let's just say the times start looking more like 19.7, 19.8, and 19.5, 19.4, 19.3, even 19.6 just leaves the realm of conversation. In the 200, that's a step back. In the 100, we've already taken a step back. People are, starved to watch 9.7 low. We got 9.75, which let us think that we could get close to it. And then we didn't get anything more than that this year. The season's done now, so it's in the books. 9.75, that's the fastest thing we got this year. Is it going to get faster in 2026, 27? Maybe. It could. But I ain't banking on it. Because 9.76 has generally been the line. Now we got 9.75 from 2017 till now. And that era is no longer just the post-Usain Bolt era. It does seem to be the Noah Lyles era. And the only way that his era of sprinting is likely going to end is you're first going to have to figure out how to win a gold medal at the World Championships or the Olympics and go through Noah Lyles in order to get it. And then here's the even harder part. You're likely going to have to figure out how to go out there and do it again. In the sport of track and field, race day is honestly the easy part because all of the real work gets put in when nobody is watching. When you wear every day is training day gear, you can let the whole world know that your success in competition is not an accident. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below, and it always comes with free shipping. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.